evening. Welcome to another edition of Nightcap with Scone. Presented by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. I would also like to remind you and give a huge shout out to our friends at Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. Their 7th annual Toys for Tots drive is going on. They are raffling off some incredible whiskeys, and I will remind you that this raffle is a right to own, not a right to purchase, meaning your name gets pulled, you get the bottle. You do not have to buy the bottle. So very cool, and all the money that they raise is going to Toys for Tots. I am pinning the link. I'm pinning the link on the comments. Pinning the link in the comments. Pinning the link on the comments. Both Facebook and YouTube. So buy your raffle tickets and support Toys for Tots here during this Christmas season, and maybe get yourself an awesome bottle of whiskey. The raffle is Friday. So you got to get your tickets now. Okay, let's delve into it. If you are new to Nightcap with Scone, here's the drill. Nightcap with Scone, a show born out of quarantine when nobody doing nothing. And so we would hang out on a Whiskey Wednesday, and we would just have a pour and talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. So by popular demand, we brought this back some weeks ago, and we're going to roll. So, in honor of our friends at Bourbon Society Baton Rouge, I'm going to pour their barrel pick. This is Wilderness Trail Barrel Pick. There's 2 of them, as a matter of fact. They have 2 different Bourbon Society Baton Rouge Wilderness Trail Barrel Picks. I'm going to pour the wheated version, Professor X, smooth and mellow. So bust this open. So drop a comment below. Let me know what it is you're drinking tonight. Whatever you got in your glass, whatever it may be, alcoholic or not, no big deal either way. And let's talk some LSU football, LSU basketball, some Saints. So LSU basketball gets a win. Saints play tomorrow on Thursday Night Football. There it is. And LSU, of course, LSU football introduced Brian Kelly today as the new head coach. Press conference. I was there, have some observations about that. And then of greater import right now, is staff. So Marcus Freeman, it is being reported, is going to replace Brian Kelly as Notre Dame's head football coach. So there were many that hoped Marcus Freeman would join Brian Kelly in Baton Rouge and be his defensive coordinator at LSU, where, of course, Ed Orgeron tried to hire Brian Kelly Marcus Freeman a year ago. And he chose Notre Dame instead. And now, less than a calendar year later, Marcus Freeman is not only the Notre Dame defensive coordinator, he's a Notre Dame head coach. So Brian Kelly will be hiring a new defensive coordinator. And then on top of that, Tommy Rees, who of course played quarterback at Notre Dame for Brian Kelly, and is their offensive coordinator, has decided he is staying put. He's staying put there in South Bend. So Brian Kelly will need to hire 2 new coordinators. If you have ideas or names or suggestions, holla at your boy, because I'm going to tell you something that we're going to have to do is kind of do a deep dive into Brian Kelly. And who some of the who some of the candidates are that that Kelly might consider. So, who he considered at Notre Dame. Of course, Mike Elko was there before he got hired away to be the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. Marcus Freeman, most recently, hired there as defensive coordinator. And you kind of look around and go, okay, who might be in play? And, and if you're Brian Kelly and you know that you're at LSU and you have really any kind of budget that you want to play with, you can almost go out, I hate to say, and hire whoever you want, but you could certainly make a run at anybody. Could you get Pete Golding away from Alabama? I don't know. Probably not. But Brent Venables is at Clemson. He's been reported, to be a head coaching candidate at Oklahoma. Would he make the jump to be a DC at LSU, his third DC stop? Alex Grinch is a name that's got to come up. Alex Grinch was at Ohio State. Lincoln Riley hired him at Oklahoma. Would Alex Grinch lead? I don't know if Riley's taking Grinch to USC with him or what his ambition is, but would Alex Grinch make that jump? People will mention a guy like Phil Parker, who's at Iowa. Phil Parker has been the DC at Iowa for 20 years, and they've always been really solid there. I don't let you pry him away after 20 years. Jim Leonard at Wisconsin. That's a guy that's coaching at his alma mater. The thing you could offer him is a higher profile job, right? You could offer him a higher profile job where, he's done great work at Wisconsin, and every year they allow fewer than 20 points a game, but you're not getting a ton of run there, and you could make two. LSU could theoretically pay you two. They were paying Dave Aranda what 2-3. Do you go try to pluck Mike Elko away from Texas A&M? There are high profile defensive coordinators around college football, and I think another thing you have to look at is if there is a coaching change, what options might be there, like Todd Orlando, for example. Todd Orlando was the DC is the DC at Southern Cal. Well, Southern Cal's got a new head coach, so who's Lincoln Riley going to hire? Those are options. Todd Grantham got fired at Florida. Is that but he's got tons of SEC experience. Is that a guy that you make a run at? I don't know. Knows the league certainly very well. You made a pass at Barry Odom last year. Do you go bark up that tree again? Maybe that was a situation where Barry Odom didn't want to leave Arkansas for LSU because Ed Orgeron was kind of on uneven ground. I mean, you'll be much more likely to be able to attract positive, good candidates, quality candidates, because you're looking at a situation where Ed Orgeron was on shaky ground and people knew it. Would coaches really wanted to come work for Ed, knowing he might be fired, which ultimately he was? Whereas Brian Kelly just on a 10-year contract. You want to talk about rock solid stability? That does it for sure. So, anyway, drop your comments. Let's say some good evens. Let me know what y'all got. This is an interactive show. That's the defensive side. As far as OC, really I think kind of depends on what style of offense Brian Kelly is interested in running. So, by the way, got my Bourbon side of Baton Rouge, Glen Cairn here. Cheers, everybody. Terrific. All right. Josh Neal, Kenneth Roddy, Blake Oob, what's going on? Johnny Ruckman, what's going on? Daniel Gugliardo, Anthony Mitchell said Kevin Steele. Yeah, you know what? You could go make a run at Kevin Steele. He got paid a lot of money not to coach this year. He'd been hired at Tennessee and then was fired before ever coaching a game at Tennessee. So, Kevin Steele, I'm looking him up right now, is 63 years old. Do you want to go that route again, bring him back to Baton Rouge? Certainly had a lot of success in the SEC. I could get down with that. Manny Diaz, depends on what happens at Miami, for sure. Let's see. Fred Flintstone, Vino Frazier, Tom Herman as OC. Some of y'all might laugh at it, but I'd get down with Tom Herman as OC. When you look back to the Ohio State National Championship team in 2014, when Braxton Miller got hurt, then J.T. Barrett got hurt, and Cardell Jones went in. I mean, they were on their third quarterback, and end of season, they basically changed what they did stylistically to fit Cardell Jones and rode it to a national title. So, really good offensive coach. I mean, I could get down with it. Did Alex Grinch, I'm sorry, someone just posted that. Did Alex Grinch get announced as USC's defensive coordinator? Okay, so he went with, got it. Okay, so sorry, I did not look at all at what Lincoln Riley was doing as far as his assistants. My apologies for that. So thank you for the heads up. So Grinch went with Lincoln Riley. So I mean, Todd Orlando is an option. Todd Orlando, who was the SC defensive coordinator, could certainly be someone you take a run at. My personal choice would be Jim Leonard. Go make a run at Jim Leonard. Let's see. Where are we? What happened to Major Applewhite? Major Applewhite is currently at South Alabama. So he is the OC at South Alabama right now. All right, jump into the YouTube chat. Y'all know the drill. If you're on YouTube, please smash that like button. 561 watching. I love it. 110 likes. Smash the like button. We appreciate y'all. Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. By the way, so if you're new to Nightcap, I will stay. I'll stay here for Nightcap for as long as y'all want to hang out and ask questions. So that's kind of the drill. If you're patient with me, I'll get to everybody. Just be patient with me. We'll get to it. Trivia Carter, PTG Toasty, Rocky Cronkite, David Kennedy, Jeb Whitley, Devin Kelly. What's up, Devin Kelly? Devin Kelly got in on AFR yesterday. Quandre, what's up? Michael Wells, Jackson Carney. Matt, I bet you $500 Dwayne doesn't show up with your money next Friday. I'll pass on that bet, Jackson. Robbie White, what's going on? Big Gray and Bozier. Things just seem better right now, old son. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. So, we could talk about the coordinators, and if you're just jumping aboard, Tommy Rees has announced he's staying at Notre Dame, and then Marcus Freeman, it's being reported, will be the head coach at Notre Dame. So Brian Kelly's two coordinators will not be following him to Baton Rouge. So that's first big. I wouldn't even say first big challenge. That is. First big challenge is roster, but that is one of many big challenges Brian Kelly has in the immediacy in this transition. Truax, what's up? David Kennedy, Kelly's a good hire. My brother hates it. He also wanted to keep O, so what does he know? Your brother's a moron, David. Probably a great guy, but definitely a moron. Ed Orgeron was a disaster, and every good thing in that program was disintegrating at his hands because he had no idea how to run a program, how to hire assistants, how to manage a roster. He was a disaster. No other way around it. A total disaster. And Scott Woodward is a really smart guy and pulled the plug before that thing went all the way down the drain. Now you've hired a coach that's won nearly 300 games in his career. He's won at 4 different places. The one thing missing from his resume is a national championship, and so you got a hungry coach who has one singular goal, and that's winning a natty. Brett, I don't know how anybody could say a negative thing about the Brian Kelly hire. It's so funny. I don't know if y'all heard it. I led AFR on Tuesday, and I said this is the most accomplished football coach LSU has ever hired, and it's not even close. And that's what William Tate led with today. So I thank the president of LSU for listening to AFR. Spurge, what's up? Dennis Dodd. I doubt that's the real Dennis Dodd, but good to see you. The Dennis Dodd, who, by the way, reported that LSU was paying Brian Kelly $15 million per year. Whatever. Stephen Miller, yeah, bruh. Sean Hinderberger. Michael Wells, what's going on? Brett Dagro. Scone on the way back from the basketball game. We played some D. LSU basketball with a very nice win over Ohio U. If you watch the game, LSU got out to an 18-point lead in the first half. That lead disintegrated. Ohio U tied the game in the second half, but LSU was able to pull away. So 66-51, the Tigers win. They hold another opponent under 60. And the guy that I really wanted to see tonight in this game was Efton Reed. There wasn't a ton of offense anyway, but he stuffed the stat sheet. Just 8 points, but 7 boards, 2 blocks. He played. He was going toe to toe with some veteran bigs. Carter's a veteran big for Ohio U, and Vanderplas kind of really flexed his muscle in the second half for Ohio U. But just keep on winning, y'all. Just keep on winning. All right. My apologies. Here we go. Michael Merritt, what's up? Bailey C. Wanted Riley, but I'm beyond excited for Brian Kelly. It's Bama's ass next November. That game's in Baton Rouge, and there's no reason why LSU couldn't win it. Bama's going to have their usual turnover, and if Brian Kelly can preserve this roster, recruiting class, and supplement in the transfer portal, I agree. I think it could go. I think they could be right back there. So real quick, wanted to remind you, for those who have just jumped aboard, if you look at the comments section, I have a pinned comment on both Facebook and YouTube. It's our friends at Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge, annually, their one gigantic fundraiser around the holidays is their Toys for Tots, their raffle, their annual raffle, benefiting Toys for Tots. And it's going to be at Sugarfield Spirits Friday, 7 p.m. The bottle list is incredible. They've added a Stag to it. I saw a Pappy 15 and a Lot B are in there. Last year they raised 33 grand. I see right here they've already raised 85 grand this year. Can they get to 100K? I think we'll be able to do that for sure. So, y'all, tickets are $10 each. If you spend 100, you get 15 tickets. $250, you get 40 tickets. $500, you get 100 tickets, right? So on and so forth. So, if you want to up your chances, but keep in mind, if you win a bottle, awesome. If not, no biggie. You're still helping Toys for Tots around the holidays. So if you can just do $10, awesome. If you can buy more, buy more. Again, the link with all the info is pinned on both Facebook and YouTube. Fred Flintstone, LSU is crazy for paying $95 million. No, they're not. I'll say now what I said 4 years ago when Jimbo got his 10-year, $75 million deal at A&M. And lots of y'all lost your mind and said, I can't believe they're okay. That averages out to $7.5 million per year, which A&M could afford. They could afford the $75 million every year, but to pay that over 10 years was nothing. They've already given him a new deal with more money. And what I said then was, by the time that contract is over, there's going to be 30 coaches in college football making more than that a decade from now. That contract Jimbo got 4 years ago has already been beaten 5 times, including by A&M, who upped Jimbo. So, no, it's not crazy. These coaches are actually grossly underpaid considering the value they bring. LSU football generated $160 million in revenue. Paying a coach $9 million is grossly underpaid. Grossly underpaid. Adam Doucet, Matt, what do you think we'll do for strength and conditioning? Good question. So there was a lot of talk about Brian Kelly bringing his strength staff with him. And today on AFR, I'm not sure if y'all heard this, but we had Pete Sampson with us, who covers Notre Dame for The Athletic and has covered Notre Dame for 20 years. And Pete Sampson said that the strength staff at Notre Dame is staying. So I don't know necessarily if that means Tommy Moffitt and his staff stay, but it's not going to be the staff Kelly had at Notre Dame. So we'll see. Taylor Hubert, Jim Leonard for DC, would love to see him in Baton Rouge. Who would you like for OC? I don't know, Taylor, that you necessarily... Here's the thing about OC. I don't know that you necessarily have to rush into that decision. I would submit that you could even wait until after the bowl game and the NFL season to make that decision, because Brian Kelly is an offensive-minded coach. You know, Brian Kelly will allow his OC to call plays, but he's the guy that's helping structure the offense, right? And that's the benefit when you have a coach that has a specialty on one side of the ball. The coordinator on that side of the ball isn't as critical. I'm not saying it's not important, but I'm saying he has the luxury of waiting. Because, for example, Jamie Howard was on AFR on Tuesday, and he was pumped. Walker was pumped. Don't know who the OC is going to be. They like Tommy Reese a lot. I was hoping it would be him. It won't be, but that doesn't it's going to change anything because you know what Brian Kelly wants to do offensively. So defensive coordinator, I would say, is of greater import. You got to nail the defensive coordinator. Kenneth Westbrook, love your content. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate that. John Voorhees, a little Penelope, Louisiana. It's Penelope, I know. Penelope. Matt Godwin, Alan Darr. No love for General Wade from the voters. They'll be right next week. Craig Cobb, what's good? Taylor Danos, odds Elias Rick stays. Good question, Taylor. Listen. I've mentioned this. Nightcap, we have a pour and we talk candidly. I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again. My understanding is that Elias Ricks was disappointed that he didn't get any NIL deals. He is entered the transfer portal. The plan is for him to go to Ohio State, where apparently they already have NIL deals lined up for him. I would hope the first call Brian Kelly made was to the Ricks family to say, what do we have to do to get you to stay? And if it's NIL deals, I hope some Baton Rouge businesses line up to make that happen. Maybe he could be a Gamecoin athlete. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Anyway. So, interesting question there. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know what Ricks will do, but I do think it's a money thing. I think if you could get him paid, he'll stay. Because that's why, ultimately, I believe that's why he's leaving. So let's see. Bourbon Society Baton Rouge posted. They just added a Russell's Reserve 13. Let me see if I can get a list of the bottles that are in this raffle. I would assume that's David posting, David Steele, with Bourbon Society Baton Rouge. I'm looking for, well, you know what? Let me just look on their Twitter. I think they're posting it on their Twitter and all their social media, the list of the bottles. Maybe it's not on their Twitter. Nope. 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 Oh well. You know what? I can look on Facebook. But if I open Facebook in here, it's probably going to redirect me. Dag nabbit. Okay, good. No, it won't. Good. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so here we go. Weller Antique 12, Special Reserve, Pappy 15, Van Winkle Lot B, George T. Stagg. There is a Jack Daniels, a special release. Ooh, that looks delicious. I see some Bookers in there. Wow, look at this lineup. Heaven's Door, Sazerac Rye, Jefferson's Ocean, Old Soul, the Russell's Reserve 13, that's a 1792 barrel pick, a barrel bourbon pick there. I'm doing this just kind of sight. Oh, look at that. How delightful. There's an Old Forester birthday bourbon, the Redemption, the Wilderness Trail barrel picks that I'm drinking tonight. Look at that. The Colonel has arrived. A little E.H. Taylor. Let's go. All right. Oh, a Dovetail. Look at that. A barrel Dovetail. Very nice. I mean, great selection. Fantastic. So again, if you're into bourbon, awesome. If you're not, but know someone who is, great chance maybe to win a great bottle, which could be a Christmas present. And if nothing else, buy a raffle ticket. They're $10 a piece, just so you can help Toys for Tots. It's amazing. Let's get them over. They're over 80 grand raised already. I think it said 85. They're trying to get to 100 grand. Let's see if we can do that tonight. We can raise 15 grand tonight. Go buy a ticket. I'm going to do that too. All right, let's get back to your questions. The link to buy is pinned in both comment sections, YouTube and Facebook. Let's see. Nice job at the press conference. The one question I got to ask y'all the whole time at the press conference. Like, as soon as questions, I'm like, hand in the air, waiting for the little person with the microphone. And because like I'm radio guy, left all the way on the left, like 5 rows up, like it took to the very end until they got to me. Anyway, Michael Moscona, what's up, cuz? Good to see you, man. Spurge, good evening. Jerry DeLucky. Roberto Styles, nice halftime speech by Kelly. Yes, he did. I was listening on the radio, as a matter of fact, and I heard him say, like, we're going to bring the next national championship to LSU basketball, and he kind of laughed. It was like, football, sorry. Irfan Sayad, Rowing Bears, sick Gamecoin shirt. Yeah, man. Penny being taken over by the Gamecoin logo. I'm fired. People ask me about Gamecoin all the time. And a lot of people say, what's going on, price, blah, blah. And there's nothing you can do to control price. It's just a free market. People buy and sell whatever. What I can tell you is this. I have always believed in the utility itself of Gamecoin. That's what I got very excited about, which is the fact that every athlete, whether you're 9 years old or Tom Brady and everything in between, will have their own utility to create their digital asset. That's the platform that has always made the most sense to me. There's nothing like it. And then you throw in a charitable component. That's the thing where I go, it just light bulb moment. So, I mean, I get it. There's crypto noobs that are going to freak out when you go through whatever volatility, good or bad. It happens. I just don't care. Because the long-term utility of Gamecoin is phenomenal. The idea is phenomenal. The people running it are amazing. They're completely committed. I'm thrilled to be on the board and to have insight into a lot of what's going on. And I can tell you the platform development is ongoing. We will have a platform Q1 of 2022, which is so exciting, man. It's like every day when I think about it, we talk about it, it's amazing because it's going to transform our community. I know a lot of people have sold and they got leery because a lot of people are new into crypto and it's what it is. But hopefully those people jump back in. Great entry point right now. I mean, it's at half a penny. It's a friggin' deal. Something I never thought we'd see again. So, the thing I would say is your objective as a short-term trader, or are you looking at a long-term hold and a play that could be life-changing? That's what I'm looking at. So I haven't sold a single coin because I haven't sold anything because I'm looking at long-term and I'm so excited about the platform being built. Let's see. Blake DeArmond, top candidate for breakfast LSU OC. Andre Carter being retained. So, all right, yeah, a lot of y'all are asking about assistants being retained. So, Charles Waldman, you're a breath of fresh air. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Jeremy Wiley, what's up? Reagan Lee, should they let him coach the bowl game? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I remember Sonny Dykes did that. I think Sonny Dykes got the job at SMU, and they let him coach the bowl game right after he was hired. It was a disaster. They got killed. I mean, how in the hell do you step in knowing none of your players, none of your personnel, none of your coaches, none of your team? How do you step in and coach the game? Like, no way. No way. Robbie White, good question. Would Dan Mullen be a good OC candidate? I think Dan Mullen's going to get another head coaching job. He's proven enough as a winner, as a head coach, that he'll get a head coaching job. Where, I have no idea. But I do believe he'll get a head coaching job. But yeah, I'd hire him in a heartbeat. What is Dan Enos doing right now? Is he at Miami still? See, if that Miami staff gets whacked, that's a guy that I would hire in a millisecond too. I think Dan Enos is a really smart guy, quarterback, guru, play caller. I would love if they hire Dan Enos. I don't know if they will. He's at Miami right now. That's one I could totally get behind, is Dan Enos. Let's see. Oh, guys being retained. So, I've told y'all for several weeks now that I believe the deal to retain with Corey Raymond is done. I think 247 Sports reported that yesterday as well. I've told y'all that for weeks. Brian Kelly today did say point blank that he has not had any conversations with staff about retaining staff, right? But I am of the belief that barring something unforeseen, well, Corey Raymond should be back. If you don't retain Corey Raymond, you're just a moron. mean, he's the godfather of DBU. He's why all the defensive backs come here. You got to retain Corey Raymond. Let's see. I was told there's a really good shot Kevin Falk is back. And I think Brad Davis, the interim head coach and offensive line coach, is back. And the offensive line, Brian Kelly's offensive line coach at Notre Dame is staying in South Bend. So I think there's a really good chance Brad Davis stays. And then Mickey Joseph is the other one that's interesting. Mickey Joseph is interesting because Mickey Joseph, his cousin, Terry Joseph, coached under Brian Kelly at Notre Dame. He's at Texas now. But so Brian Kelly knows the family. And listen, we talk about this a lot, y'all, but you have got to have someone on staff that recruits New Orleans. It's not even a question. It's an absolute must. So, and Mickey Joseph has done an amazing job of that. So, unless Brian Kelly has someone he wants on staff as receiver coach, I think you keep Mickey Joseph. If for no other reason at all to recruit New Orleans. Because if it's not Mickey Joseph, then you got to hire someone with ties to New Orleans that can recruit New Orleans. I mean, I know sometimes weird for people to hear, hard to explain, but New Orleans high school coaches are a fraternity. And I don't mean that in a negative way. They are just very fraternal. They're a close-knit group. And they support each other, and they support their players, and all that. And you have got to have someone that is closely connected. It's why Frank Wilson was excellent in recruiting New Orleans, having been at Perry Walker. Jabbar Jalouk was here for a year. He had been at Carr. Now it's Mickey Joseph, who's just so ingrained in New Orleans high school football athletics. He's a legend. I mean, you have to have that guy on staff. Let's see. Now look at trivia. They better have some Marines there. Toys for Tots, our charity, need us there to help represent. Trivia, I have good news for you as well. Something you've been asking for quite a while from Erica is about to happen. Let's see. Look at that. Hope it's the weeded. It's badass. I'm way behind on comments. My apologies. But yes, so shout out what I am drinking tonight. There are 2 Wilderness Trail barrel picks from Bourbon Society Baton Rouge. And I am drinking the weeded barrel pick. I have not popped open. Which one is this? Spicy bold bourbon from Wilderness Trail, powerful enough to attract rye lovers from booty to bunky. Ooh, I do love rye. With amber hues, unforgettable finish, has great looks, and a magnetic personality. Be sure to try its smooth and mellow counterpart to complete the Wilderness Trail of 2 bourbons. Brought to you exclusively by the Bourbon Society Advantage. Maybe my second pour will be that one. Okay, Joey Rills, what's up? Who are the top coordinators now? Kind of went through that a little bit. Don't know, but went through a list of some of the defensive coordinators I think you have to target. I think Jim Leonard at Wisconsin is one that you have to talk about. I think Jim Leonard at Wisconsin. I think you go back to Arkansas and you make a play for Barry Odom this year. Let's see what happens with Manny Diaz at Miami and what happens with that staff. We mentioned Todd Orlando, who was at SC, of course, was on staff there, which was just let go. Lincoln Riley brought Alex Grinch with him, so Todd Orlando is available. That's one worth considering. I would have said Brent Pry, but I know Brent Pry, who's the Penn State defensive coordinator, just got hired as the Virginia Tech head coach. So there's a lot of good ones, and LSU will pay. So let's go get them. Michael Adams. All right, Michael, here you go. per your request, Michael.
Need a roof? Call someone you know. Scone and Terrio. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
And a big shout out to Mr. Toby Tomplay for the Hudco Roofing jingle. Let's see. Todd Harris. Did Coach Kelly use transfer portal at Notre Dame? I think it's critical to fill the roster with all the departures. Remember, Jack Scone, who was the starting quarterback for Notre Dame this year, was a Wisconsin transfer. I fully believe that this staff has to add a quarterback. You have to. You got Max Johnson, you got Garrett Nussmeier, you got Walker Howard coming in. That's not enough. And I think there's a good chance potentially that Nussmeier could leave. You have got to add a quarterback. You have to. You have to add a quarterback. Todd Boudreaux, what would you say the minimum investment should be for Gamecoin? In no way would I answer that question. That is up to investing is all about an individual's risk tolerance. You decide what your risk tolerance is, and you educate yourself and make your own investment. All I can tell you is, with respect to Gamecoin, some people obsess over the price of I love the utility of Gamecoin. I think it is going to win in a huge way long term. I love the idea. I believe it is a generational opportunity. I am heavily invested and have not sold a single token. And I am very excited about the potential. And at half a penny, it is an incredible opportunity because I never thought we'd see half a penny again. Dog it. Sorry, this doesn't really matter. It's just bothering me. There we go. It's just bothering me. Okay. All right. Brody Dupree. What's the word in coaching circles about Brian Kelly at LSU? Everybody's impressed, man. I mean, you want to know what's interesting too, y'all? All right. Let's gather around. Okay, we got 1,000. We've cracked 1,000. Thank you. 1,000 watching on YouTube. 1,032 to be exact. 350 on Facebook. So we're at 1,360, almost 1,400 concurrent viewers. Thank you for watching. Facebook, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash the like button. Okay. Y'all, I kind of think you need to hear me out, okay? Because I'm going to grant you this as we start. This is my own theory, putting pieces of the puzzle together. This is my theory. I think LSU might not have actually been going after Lincoln Riley. Follow me, okay? Follow me. Because I know some of you are going to say, sour grapes because the guy you wanted picked USC over LSU. Maybe. And I will grant you, that was my initial thought, 100%. Okay, but follow me. Follow me. Anyway. But don't lose your grip. Anyway. Okay. Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley both have the same agent, Trace Armstrong. I can tell you for a fact that the Jimmy Sexton team had no idea what Scott was doing. They tried in earnest to get Billy Napier an interview, did not get an interview, was never considered. Bill O'Brien, Lane Kiffin, Mark Stoops, all Sexton clients. And I told you Stoops was the floor, but the Sexton team had no idea what LSU was doing. I am very confident in telling you that. Here's my theory. Again, it's a theory. So can we understand that I'm not reporting news? Can we understand this? And this is my theory about what happened. I think Trace Armstrong used Lincoln Riley to LSU as a smokescreen to mask USC's interest in Lincoln Riley. And because everyone was focused on Lincoln Riley to LSU, nobody was focused on Brian Kelly to LSU. So that one smokescreen with Lincoln Riley and LSU actually caused two smokescreens simultaneously, which is pretty brilliant when you think about it. And Lincoln Riley saying the first conversation he ever had with another school was Sunday morning. Okay, him personally talking to USC's athletic director Sunday morning is plausible. Because he's in the middle of the season, he would do it. He would do it Sunday morning. His representation would have been handling everything, going back and forth, forum intermediates. That's how it works. But him personally having the conversation could have happened Sunday morning for the first time, no doubt. I believe that. But that's not when contact was initially made. And I will tell you this as well. Y'all, I told y'all 4 to 6 weeks ago that LSU made contact with Brian Kelly. And if you didn't believe me, you didn't have to believe me. Unprovoked, Jamie Howard told you that on AFR on Tuesday. If you missed the interview, it's up on YouTube. Go listen to it. Go watch it. Matt French, did you get it on Crow? Yes, I do have crypto.com coin. I do a lot of it, a big bag of it. Big believer in crypto.com coin. What's up, LaRussa? So, I know for a fact that LSU contacted Brian Kelly early in the search and that he vetted the process. He vetted LSU. Like, I know this. Jamie Howard told you. Jamie Howard came on AFR and told you. He said, yeah, when he and Walker went up to to Notre Dame for the USC game at the end of October, he said this on AFR, on the record. He goes, I asked Brian point blank, are you interested in LSU? He goes, yeah, they called me, but I'm not really, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, he told you Brian Kelly told him he talked to LSU a month ago. So that contact was happening. I'll tell you there are other people, aside from Jamie, who said that on air yesterday, there are other people who told me the same story, that Brian Kelly had called. Keep in mind, Brian Kelly's gotten a lot of players out of Louisiana over the years. He has connections here. So people were talking about that. I just made the assumption that Brian Kelly wasn't interested, just like he told Jamie Howard. I believed it. I still believe Jimbo Fisher was Scott Woodward's number one all along. But I kind of think now Brian Kelly was really his number two. I do. And I think we might just find out that this deal was agreed upon in principle last week. I think we might find that out, y'all. I think there were so many people who so many very wealthy people, like people who wrote 7-figure checks for the buyout, who had no idea what was happening, that were convinced it was Lincoln Riley, were pissed because I'm sure they had been telling all their rich friends that they knew it was going to be Lincoln Riley, and it wasn't. They were pissed because they were embarrassed. I think Scott had Brian Kelly on the hook all along. I do. That's my theory. I can't back it up. I don't know. Just my theory. It's my theory. Maybe we'll find out. And listen, I'm a guy who on Monday, I told you, Sunday was a whirlwind. I woke up on Monday and felt like shit because Sunday was a whirlwind. After we found out Lincoln wasn't coming and then went to and took the USC job and we're like, did this happen again? Did LSU get left at the altar? What are they going to do? Are they scrambling? And nobody had an answer. Every person I talked to, I probably talked to 50 people on Sunday. It was like 25 and 25, like 50-50 split. Half the people was like, they got this and everyone's going to be very happy. It was the same answer. It was like, oh, they got a guy and everyone's going to be happy. Wink, wink. And then the other half were like, they got left at the altar and they're scrambling. Like, so I don't really know what to believe. I kind of lean toward they don't know what they're doing. But I think Scott had his guy all along. I do. I think Jimbo was the number one, and Scott was always going to call Jimbo. I was even told on Sunday they're calling Jimbo again. I mean, by credible people. So there was so much ambiguity that there were members of the board of supervisors who met with Scott on Sunday, who were like, "Why didn't we get Lincoln? And what's the plan?" Like they wanted, because Mark Stoops was like a real thing. Like he was the floor. They talked like they were interested, but like I don't know that they were ever going to hire Mark Stoops. Like that was the floor. Never got there. I think Scott kind of nailed it, man. Shame on me for even allowing a modicum of doubt to creep into my mind. Shame on me. 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 Yes, I just did take on me. Shame on me. I like Wilderness Trail, but I have one complaint. It's freaking impossible to get all the freaking... Yes. Okay. All right. Let's see. Look at Tim Gotra. Today was a good day because I saw something I never thought I'd see again. An LSU coach in a press conference speaking intelligently. Tim, did you hear the beginning of AFR today? I played a Les Miles useless sound montage I made years ago. And then we played Orgeron going like, go Tigers, and like mumbling about nothing. Wasn't it incredible? Like when you think about it, that ever since Nick Saban left for the Miami Dolphins, we have not heard an intelligent, coherent press conference from an LSU head coach since January of 2005. It's been almost 17 years. Almost 17 years since we've heard a head coach at LSU, a head football coach, with an intelligent, coherent thought in a press conference. I just, on air, I was like, it was so refreshing to ask a question and to have someone without this weird syntax or this gravelly voice, just nothing but, raw emotion. Like, it was nice to have a measured, mature, thoughtful, intelligent answer to what was being asked. All right. James Fortenberry, my mother-in-law, said this today. She was listening. She's like, I like him. I just like listening to hear him talk. I haven't been able to say that in a long time. She knows nothing about football. It's hilarious. All right. Let's see what y'all got, man. All right, I'm going to scroll a little bit here in these comments. Forgive me that I'm a little behind. It's just been like there's a bajillion of them, and I'm late getting to them all. Patrick Dinwiddie, what's up? Brother Martin, gonna fight for our alma mater, for Brother Martin, crimson and gold. Gonna shout to the skies, resounded. We're gonna win over foes untold. The Crimson Crusaders are our heroes. They are the men who never say die. So while the whole gang is here, let's stand up and cheer for Brother Martin High. My dad went there. We used to go to all the games when I was a kid. Brothers of Sacred Heart School. How about this? Matt Plavidal. Matt, do you know if the Barber and A. approves the Brian Kelly hire? LOL. How about this, Matt? How about a little scoop for y'all? I got some scoop for y'all. Well, first of all, the Barber and A. is a big, big fan of Billy Napier's. Seriously. From his time at Bama. Billy Napier and Mel Tucker. Don't be surprised if kids from A. go to Gainesville and East Lansing. But I will tell you this. There is a... I'll tell you his name. Hang on. I don't know his name. I'll tell you this. Hang on. There is a kid from Ponchatoula who is committed to Notre Dame right now. He's a receiver, and his name is Marion something. Sorry, I don't know, y'all. I don't know recruiting. Y'all know I don't know recruiting. There it is. Amarian Walker, 6'4", 175. He's going to flip to LSU. I will make a prediction. I'll make a bold prediction right now. Ready? I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. Y'all can hold me to it. And y'all know I don't know recruiting. I don't know recruiting. So if I know this, I know this. Not because I know anything about recruiting. LSU will get Jacoby Matthews, the 5-star out of Ponchatoula. I think LSU is going to sign 3 players from Ponchatoula. I think they're going to get Jacoby Matthews. I think they're going to get Amarian Walker to flip from Notre Dame to LSU. And then some of y'all pointed this guy out to me, and forgive me, I forgot it. Their running back, whose name escapes me, sorry. His name is Johnson. Braden Johnson. They're going to get him too, and he's going to play linebacker. And I'm going to tell you this. No one is going to be excited about that because, no one's going to be excited about that because the kid's a 3-star and he's a running back and people are like, whatever, 3-star, white kid, running back, like, yeah, whatever. I've talked to people that there's one person in particular who is, in my opinion, the best talent evaluator that I know personally, and said that kid is the best football player on that team. The team with Jacoby Matthews. So look, Jacoby Matthews is the best NFL prospect. Like, Jacoby Matthews is, there's a reason it's 5-star, yada, like, but that kid runs a legit 4.5. He is, I'm going to use this very loosely. They said he's Devin White. He's super fast and athletic and a big body playing running back, but he's going to be a linebacker in the SEC and be a heat-seeking missile. And everyone's sleeping on him because he's a 3-star white kid from Ponchatoula. They're going to get Braden Johnson. Be very excited. I think LSU, my prediction, they're going to sign 3 kids from Ponchatoula in this class. That's my prediction. My bold prediction. If I'm wrong, you can all laugh at me, and I'll be totally fine with it. Adam Gase for OC. John DeLon, what's going on? Ghastly Gamer. Guy on radio said Amarian Walker was offered wide receiver at Notre Dame, which is what he wants, but LSU only offered him as defense. That's why I chose ND. And Brian Kelly will play receiver here, I guess, but he's going to flip. Will Shipley's best white running back I've seen from Christian McCaffrey. I don't know who that is. Sorry. I just know about the guy from Braden Johnson, Ponchatoula. Michael Wells, Manning or Howard? Splitting hairs. I think they're both awesome. I think they'll both be really great, but I don't think LSU's going to get Arch Manning. Michael Terry, do you think Jimbo is better than Brian Kelly? Truth only. Huh?
What time did you have?
It was yesterday, 4:30.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah, why?
Because I was supposed to.
Oh, you want to go listen to it? Mm-hmm. Well, go to the After Further Review LSU YouTube channel, and it's there. And subscribe to that channel while you're there.
Sure.
And like the page. And like the post. Smash the like button.
Not smashing it.
Smash the like button, E-Rock. Oh, Erica.
What?
The strength and conditioning staff at Notre Dame. Staying at Notre Dame.
Yes, are you kidding?
Not kidding. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily that LSU staff is staying.
But still,
But the Notre Dame strength and conditioning
It's not
staff
coming.
is not coming.
that's 100% fact.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, it's a 100% fact.
Erica is friends with the wife of one of the strength and conditioning, like assistant strength coaches.
She works with it. She's a
Well, I
teacher.
don't want to say their name. I don't know if they want me to.
That's fine.
So, we need to get Wiggins. Brandon Reese, my understanding is they will. Wiggins is Quincy Wiggins, right? The kid from Madison Prep. They're getting him too. Let's see. Good question, Aunt Marshall. What about Logan Diggs? Y'all, I'm going to tell you this about Logan Diggs. So Logan Diggs is running back who was at Rummel and signed with Notre Dame, just finished his freshman year at Notre Dame. And he was a 3-star. And this is sometimes where the recruiting services, you're like where they miss. Logan Diggs Had no idea who that kid was. Zero. No clue whatsoever who that kid was. Logan Diggs Rummel is playing Catholic last year in the semifinals at Memorial. And I'm watching this game, and the running back from Rummel goes for like 250. They couldn't tackle the Mickey Ficky. And I'm like, who is that? And so I asked on Twitter, people are like, oh, that's Logan Diggs committed to Notre Dame. I'm like, he's committed to Notre Dame? I'm like, how is the kid from Rummel committed to Notre Dame when LSU has no running backs? Like, what is going on here? And sure enough, Logan Diggs has popped this year as a freshman at Notre Dame. And more people are like, why isn't he playing more? And that he should be the starter next year. Now, I know they got the really good running back at Notre Dame right now, 23. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. But anyway, Logan Diggs will be starting running back at Notre Dame next year, unless Kelly can get a transfer, which would be awesome. Trevor Falcon. What's up, Trevor Falcon? Matt, what type of offense do you think Kelly will go to next year? There are multiple, but they will run a very modern offense, which is fun. Steven Schneider, what's going on? Is this what an actual coach sounds like? Yeah. William Mealy, Blue Jays going to lower the boom on the Bears this weekend. William, sorry to tell you, bro. Early line is at Bears, minus 13.5. Good luck, though. It's really sweet that y'all actually get to compete in a championship game once. First time in maybe your school's history. Jesuits never won a championship in football, I don't think. Maybe like way back when presidents had long beards, maybe they won one. But that's been a long time. Mark Estorge. The Brother Martin fight song was a treat. Hey, man. Funny story about Estorge. Shoot, dog. I was in the dome. When Brother Martin played in the state championship in 1989. Estorge. Lost that day. Disappointing. But told you, bro. When I was a kid, we went to all the Brother Martin games. My dad went to Brother Martin. He was in the second class at Brother Martin. Went 2 years to Aloysius. When Aloysius merged with Coriezu, he finished at Brother Martin. So we were Brother Martin fans. Went to all the games. Jonathan Pecoraro, Keith Dardis, what's going on? Doesn't Ponchi have a safety that's I thought that's what I'm telling you about, Keith. That's Jacoby Matthews. That's the 5-star who was committed to LSU, decommitted because Bama and A&M were going to give him a buttload of NIL money. LSU's got to get up to speed with NIL, y'all. I'm telling you. LSU has got to get up to speed on NIL. And yes, 3 from Ponchatoula will sign in this LSU class. Book it. The guy who knows nothing about recruiting. I'm telling you, I don't have recruiting sources. I'm just telling you that's happening. Travis McGraw, refreshing to hear CEO Brian Kelly walk into a room. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, scroll out. Chris Admave. As an Irish fan, I can tell you, Irish Nation is ecstatic tonight. We got Marcus Freeman and got rid of Kelly out of South Bend. Kelly can't win a big game. Go Irish. Hey, Chris, Kelly can't win a big game because no one at Notre Dame will ever win a big game. I'm going to tell you this, Chris. Like, here's a reality check for you, okay? I'm going to show you something. Hold on, Chris. You don't go anywhere, okay? Chris, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you all a glimpse into Scone's past. Hang on. Hang on, Chris. Chris, don't you move. Chris, don't move, bro. All right? Don't go anywhere, bro. Please, don't leave. I'm going to show you all this. Hang on. Chris, don't go nowhere, bro. Come on. Don't move, Chris. Don't you leave, bruh. Chris, don't you leave, dog. Oh. Look at that. Notre Dame Stadium. Plenty of those. But oh, look, the Grotto. How about that one? What else I got up in here? I got plenty. Hang on. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't you go nowhere, dog. Don't go nowhere. Oh, look, there's Notre Dame Stadium shot from the student section, y'all. That was probably the Nebraska. Oh, look, there's student section shot doing the 1812 overture. Hang on. I got plenty more. A couple of good ones I want to show y'all. Hang on, don't y'all go nowhere, bro. Don't go nowhere. I got y'all now. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Let's see. Hold on. Chris, hold on. Oh, this was College Game Day when they were there for Nebraska, Notre Dame, Nebraska in 2000. Number 1 Nebraska, Tommy Crouch came in. There's a picture somewhere. Look, there's Matty Motel. Oh, look, this is a good one. This is a good one. This was Notre Dame against, I think maybe Michigan State. Don't remember that one. Let's see. Should have some other good ones in here for you. Oh, look there. This was, well, no, I can show you that one. That's Matty Mo drinking as a kid. Hang on. Some other really good ones I'll show you. Well, these are all, I gotta organize these. These are all out of order. Anyway, suffice to say, y'all thought I was lying, but your boy went to school in South Bend at Holy Cross for a year. Holy Cross, you get all student tickets and offer all the Notre Dame crap too. So I got Notre Dame student football tickets and shit. Look there, there's Matty Mo in Notre Dame Stadium. How about it, y'all? How about it? In the student section. Oh, look, there's my brother touching to play like a champion today. There's Brian touching to play like a champion today. Signed in the locker room. Don't know how I got in there. Oh, there's Matty Mo at the Grotto. Right there. So what was that guy's name? Chris or something? Chris something or other? I don't know. Whatever, don't matter. So Chris, here's what you got to know, okay? So I lived in that shithole of a town for a year in South Bend, okay? Here's what you got to know, which you can't understand because you don't know any better. And now you're talking to someone who has covered a team that's won 3 national titles and played for a 4th, all since 2003. All in the time since Notre Dame won their last one. Actually, the first one came 15 years after Notre Dame won its last one, which, happened about 20 years before any of the kids playing now were born. Nobody gives 2 shits about the fact that Notre Dame won a Heisman Trophy or a national championship when dudes didn't wear face masks. You know what I mean? There was a point when Notre Dame, and this is a good lesson for everybody, but especially for that guy, whatever his name is, who said he's a Notre Dame fan. I'm going to give you like this. Some of you, if you listen to my show open on Tuesday, you heard this, but I'm going to give it to you again. And smash the like button, please. 1,200 watching there on YouTube, only 400 likes. Let's get that up. 359 on Facebook. Thank you so much. Like the page, share the post. Okay. Back in the day when there was like 2 football games on the season, or on the weekend, Notre Dame and Alabama and USC and Ohio State and Michigan were the only teams on TV. Whatever. When Notre Dame did its NBC deal, they were the only school on TV every single week. That's a big deal. Great recruiting tactic. Well, now everybody's on TV every week, okay? So kids don't really want to go to Notre Dame because of the prestige of Notre Dame. They haven't won a national title in more than 30 years. None of these kids have any clue of Notre Dame being any good. Their idea of Notre Dame is getting the shit kicked out of them in the college football playoff. Because they recruit 4 stars, they have top 15-ish classes, which is amazing because South Bend is a shithole. Like, if you've ever been there, there's no reason anyone would want to live there. The campus is beautiful, but the city is awful. It smells like ethanol. It's gloomy all year round. You get this lake effect snow from Lake Michigan. We got our first snow in October, last snow in May. Y'all, it's December. We were wearing short sleeves in Baton Rouge today. It was snowing in May when I was there, okay? It's hard to get a kid from South Florida to go to South Bend. It's hard to get a kid from Southern California to go to South Bend. Do you know what I mean? And there's no talent in Indiana. So the advantage Notre Dame had with its history and all that shit doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter because LSU is more relevant to any prospect today than Notre Dame. LSU's won 3 national titles since 2003 and played for a 4th. Notre Dame hasn't sniffed it since 88. So, you can shit on Brian Kelly, but the fact that he won 75% of his games, went to 2 college football playoffs and a BCS championship game, went 54-9 or 54-10 in the last 5 years, with those resources, is incredible. You give him what he's going to get in Baton Rouge, and he will win titles. God bless Marcus Freeman. Great coach. I hope he does exceptionally well. Nobody is winning a national title at USC, at Notre Dame anymore. It's just not possible. You can't win a national title at Notre Dame because you can't get players to Notre Dame anymore. The only school in the Midwest that can win a national title is Ohio State, because Ohio is a talent-rich state, and Ohio State is the only Power 5 in a talent-rich state. They can put a fence around Ohio, get the best players, supplement with great players from other places, and compete at the highest level. Ohio State can do it. Notre Dame can't. So you can be celebrate. What was that guy's name again? Chris something or other? You can celebrate that Brian Kelly's gone, but I'm telling you, if it's Marcus Freeman or whoever the next guy is, understand the guys before Brian Kelly, Charlie Weiss and Tyrone Willingham and Bob Davie, all won like 55%. They were all 500 coaches because it's hard to win in South Bend because South Bend is a shithole and there's no talent in Indiana. It's really hard to recruit good players there. And you could put together your little hodgepodge schedule of Navy and this and that and Stanford and whatever, but you're going to run into a good team down the line and they're going to kick the shit out of you like they have for the last 30 years. I hope that helps. Cheers. By the way, if you're just jumping on board, please remember, pinned on both YouTube and Facebook is the link to the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge raffle. Even if you don't love bourbon, no worries. They are raffling off an amazing selection of bottles. I wish I had the exact list of how many bottles. That's my bad. But anyway, click the link. That'll take you right to the Christmas raffle. They're doing their raffle, and they got some amazing bottles. They've got a Van Winkle 15, a Pappy 15, the 12-year, the Lot B. They got some Wellers. They got tons of birthday bourbon. Amazing bottles. And this is not right to purchase. This is right to own. They draw your name. You get to keep the bottle. You don't buy it. It's yours. Raffle tickets are $10. Even if you don't win a bottle, you're still helping Toys for Tots around the holidays. So click the link, please. If it's $10, do $10. If you can do $100, do $100. If you do $500, do whatever. But that would be awesome if you could. So, Bourbon Side of Baton Rouge. Shout out. Oh. Plug it in. Okay. And also, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Gamecoin, thegamecoin.net, mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net. On Facebook, they're all those are pinned in the or in the description. Kyle Brister, come on, Matt. Notre Dame is smack in the middle of 47 million people. 80 guys on their roster are either Catholics or private schools. They get to pick of the litter of elite student athletes in the U.S. Kyle Brister. I'm not guessing, Kyle. I lived there. Their average recruiting class ranking is 13. There are no student athletes. There are no athletes in the state of Indiana. If you try to go into Ohio or Illinois in the greater Chicago area, you might get some kids out of Chicago, but look at Brian Kelly's recruiting class. He's got 18 states represented. They have to recruit nationally. Even if you try to go into Ohio, you're recruiting against Ohio State. Like, the cachet of Notre Dame that you think exists doesn't really exist. Like, you can bring them in there, you can show them the trophies and shit, but when you walk outside, it's still gloomy and gray, and the women are ugly, and the food's bland, the football's boring, and it just sucks. It sucks. It sucks. And then you go on a recruiting visit to USC, and you're in fucking Hollywood, man. Or you go to LSU, and there's these freaking Southern Belles, little tiger paws on their cheek, and you're like, I'm gonna come here. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. It ain't that hard to figure out. Kyle Milliken, compare the two stadium experiences, LSU and Notre Dame. Are we talking about LSU when everybody leaves at the end of the third quarter? You don't want my answer, bro. At their peak, there's nothing like LSU. When Tiger Stadium is full throat, 102,000 big game Tiger Stadium, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. But Tiger Stadium's a fraud, bro. Y'all get pissed off hearing me say that. Tiger Stadium ain't intimidating. Tiger Stadium sucks right now. When the team ain't no good and fans don't show up and they leave at the end of the third quarter and it's 20,000 people by the time of the game, it sucks. It's corporate, it sucks. It sucks. Big game, awesome. Any other game, it sucks. I hate it, but it's true. Don't get pissed about it. I don't care if you get pissed. Be honest with yourself. Going to Tigers, LSU's playing Auburn in a conference game that's down to the freaking final minute. You got 50,000 people in the stadium at the end because everybody left. Tigers Stadium it's a fraud. As a big game venue, there's nothing like it. Bring Alabama in, bring Florida in 2019. Big game venue, fucking amazing. Nothing like it. Nothing compares. It's not a big game? Eh. Todd Boudreaux, mic drop. Tony Williams, Notre Dame is not a coach since Lou Holtz. Yeah, they have. They've had plenty. They had Bob Davie, and they had, they hired George O'Leary, and he falsified his resume, so he resigned. And then they had Tyrone Willingham, and then they had Charlie Weiss, and then they had Brian Kelly. They had lots of coaches. And the best one they had just left them high and dry because he knew he couldn't win a championship there. Keith Dardis, Brandon Atchison. Thank you very much. There's Bourbon Society Baton Rouge, who listed the bottles. How many bottles do we have here? Gosh, doggone, it's redirecting me. Can you just post how many bottles? Well, anyway, but that's good because people can see it there. Bourbon Society Baton Rouge posted the link there. Dylan Hess, what's up? Keith Dardis. Bradley Watson, Matt, what you said doesn't make sense. You said interviews don't happen during the season, but you said Napier never got an interview. So, please don't misunderstand me. Okay? A face-to-face interview does not happen during the season. You could have Zoom contact, and you could absolutely have communication between agents and admins. And I'm telling you, zero from LSU to Billy Napier. He was not getting an interview. He was not considered. Let's see. Lucian Mixon, James Thompson. Kelly got Jerry Tillery from Shreveport. True. Let's see. That was a good get. Really good get. Devin Kelly, going to buy 2 tickets. Want some great bourbon. Thank you, bro. Support. Chris Googe. The women are Chris, I'm going to tell you, I don't mean to be rude about it, bro. But, look, Notre Dame's they got about 8,000 in the student body. It ain't a big school. Most of the chicks up there, just really smart girls. They're great people. Just smart girls. It's like when you know who, like, the hot girls on campus are because it's the hot girls. You know, man, going to school at LSU was like, you get whiplash everywhere you walked. It was like, when I was a student, it was like when all the garbage bag pants were a thing. I was like, damn, bro. I can imagine now going to school with the yoga pants. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I get in trouble. If I was in school now, anyway. Rami Kasem, I used to want to visit Notre Dame after this hard pass. Rami, I would recommend going to a game there. Like, I would highly recommend that. If you as a college football fan just want to go to a game at Notre Dame Stadium, do it. Like, it's an historic venue. I mean, it's when they built in 97 is when they opened the expanded Notre Dame Stadium. They've done some more renovations to it since, but since they've done that, like, you can still walk through the expanded stadium and see the original shell. The brick shell is still, like, when you walk through the gates, you can still see it there. And it's a great venue. I mean, it's an historic venue. I would highlight the campus is beautiful. Touchdown Jesus and the cathedral and all that. I mean, it's a beautiful place. It really is. The campus, but the city, the town of South Bend is a shithole. I mean, there's like an ethanol plant. It just smells like gas all the time. You don't see the sun 9 months out of the year. It's just a terrible place. Really is. Anyway, let's see. Cody Mason. LSU didn't show interest in Napier. He gave him a second chance before taking the Florida job. I'll tell you, that's another thing. So earlier when I kind of gave you my theory on what happened, that's the other thing that sort of lends some credence to it. Billy Napier's people, like I would say it was a Tuesday. So Napier met with Florida on Tuesday. And basically his representatives called LSU and was like, hey, this is about to happen. And they were like, LSU was like, tell them to take the job. Kind of tells you like they had their guy. And that they were never going to hire Napier ever. Jeff Levy for OC. Cody Brunet, great idea. Levy's not coming here for OC job. He'll be head coach. That's Ole Miss's OC, by the way. Super hot, super well thought of, super high riser. 80 bottles. There you go. Thank you, Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. 80 bottles in the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge raffle. There will be 80 winners. 80. So spend $10 on a ticket or spend $100, whatever you buy a bunch of tickets, and you have 80 chances to win. Matthew Alemán, what's going on? Stephen Beach. Really don't know what BR Peeps would do without you, Matt. They probably have a less vulgar guy on Nightcap. Although we got 1,100 people. That's so freaking awesome. We got 1,100 people watching, 546 likes. Facebook's got 300 watching. That's just amazing. It's like it's a Wednesday night at 10:30. We got 1,500 people hanging out. That's awesome. I'm super flattered. Cheers to all of you in my Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge Glencairn. You should join Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge just so you get this really cool Glencairn, by the way. It's $50 for the year. Let's see. Kyle Milliken, Matt, what happened to YouTube? We should be there. We're there. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Sorry, I've been going back and forth. All right, let me go back to YouTube. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry, YouTube. Lori Brogdon. I know that Roger in the playoffs, but Riley wanted no part of playing SEC teams every year. Let's see. Matt, Durante Jones visited with Devin Moore today after he decommitted from Notre Dame. I think and hope he's staying. Well, CK, I'll tell you this. I know Shea Dixon told us this on Eagle Game Day on Saturday, that LSU staff was going to be out recruiting today. Or this week. So that shouldn't be in any way a surprise. I don't know what's going to happen with Durante. A lot of people may not like this. I hope they don't keep Durante Jones. The improvement in the second half of the year post bye week was noticeable. Absolutely. I still feel like it's too much of a learn on the job for Durante, and you've got too much invested right now to stick with a learn on the job type coordinator. Go get me a proven DC. Go pry Barry Odom away from Arkansas. Todd Orlando's available. Go get him. Kevin Steele, someone else mentioned. There are too many proven, brilliant defensive minds to take a chance on someone who's still growing into the job. You're LSU. You just committed $100 million to your head coach. You got to get a proven coordinator on the defensive side. Let's see. Milrachi, what positions are the highest priority of transfers besides O-line? Linebacker, quarterback, probably running back. Linebacker is going to be huge because you're going to lose Damone Clark and Baskerville. And we can all be really excited about Greg Penn, but you had nothing there. And I don't know what Mike Jones is going to do. So you better go get linebackers and offensive linemen. Patrick Dinwiddie, what's up? Ryan Pike, Matt Plavidal. My dad moved out too. They lived. I don't know who it is. Michael Daigle. Creek Dweller. If Kelly can recruit a winning team with the stringent academic requirements, LSU would be the best team in the SEC. That's another part of it too. Like, you have to recruit at Notre Dame. You have to recruit athletes that can get into Notre Dame. I'm gonna tell y'all, and they may have laxed the restrictions some, but I had a 3.4 cumulative GPA in my 4 years at Catholic. I didn't get into Notre Dame. Went to Holy Cross for a year, 2 semesters, had a 3.95, all A's and a B plus. Didn't get into Notre Dame. It's fucking hard to get into that school. Now my brother got in because he's fucking brilliant. He got all the smarts in our family. He got the super book smarts. I got kind of like the cunning sort of street smarts, if that makes sense. You can decide which is better, but what it is. Jeb Whitley, what's up? Plum Tiger, it's amazing, Roger Dodger. You should go anyway. If you're nice, tell them you're from where you're from. They'll feed you. Can't hide in the playoffs, Laura. USC has to play SC, evidently, so not scared. I guess that's supposed to be eventually. Y'all ever saw where Rudy's dad worked? LOL, same plant. Probably so. Let's see. Reed Wilson, what's up? Scone said South Bend is a shithole. It is. Go to South Bend. You'll realize it's a shithole. We used to drive. There's a state road. Hang on. Now I'm interested. I forgot what it is. Holy Cross College. All right, here you go. Holy Cross College is on State Road 933. Okay. So State Road 933, I'm going back now. Okay, there it is. So if you go north, so if you're at Holy Cross College, directly across State Road, what's his 31? Okay, it has to be 31, Highway 31. Anyway, so if you go North Michigan Street, which is Highway 31, you go north, you're 5 minutes from the from the Michigan state line. There was a, maybe 10 minutes from the state line. There was a liquor store. God, I wonder if it's still there. I'm looking at this map now. There was a liquor store just on the Michigan side, and they didn't card. So that's where every Notre Dame student drove to go get their booze. I don't know if it's still there. Maybe they got shut down because they sold booze to underage kids. That's so funny. Anyway, so yeah, man, Holy Cross College. North Hall. Your boy lived in North Hall. No, I lived in South Hall. They just opened South Hall. Oh, look, they've expanded. Good for them. Yeah, I live in Northwest, I think. Southwest James or Basil. I was at Southwest James and Basil Hallwood Halls when I was there. It's been 20 years. It's been 21 years. Been a long time. Long time. Anyway, thank you for tolerating that trip down memory lane. All right, what we got? Ahmed Youssef. No way Ricks goes back to LSU. I'll address that again. I think so. You just got to pay him. I mean, you got to get him paid with Danny McCray made the final 6 on Survivor. Good for him. Danny McCray was like a curse word when he was at LSU. He was always getting burned. I'm surprised he made such a career in the NFL. Good for him. Albert Prazalam. Gator here. Is Napier ready for the SEC in your opinion? Yeah. Albert, I think y'all are going to be really happy, man. I really do. I think he's sharp, detail-oriented, can recruit his ass off, has great ties to Louisiana. Honestly, man, Albert, I think y'all are going to be really happy. And I think LSU nailed it with Brian Kelly. I really wish Florida would have botched this hire, but I don't think they did. I think Florida nailed it. I do. So you went where Rudy went before Notre Dame admission. Yep, same school. Let's see. Palermo Trapani. All perspective, if you like 8 months of snow, then that's your business and you think it's great. If you don't like that, then you think otherwise. Free country to think as you wish. But there's a reason, Palermo, why that's not a very populous area. Because people don't like that a lot. It's not good. It's actually 12 minutes, Matt. Oh, to that drive? It might be. All right. Let's see. Any more? Clayton Knight, what's good? Brandon Atchison, Colin Gallagher. Any timing on putting the staff together? Colin, I'll tell you, you could probably wait on some positions till after the bowl game. I do think, like I've told you before, I think Corey Raymond's back. I think Kevin Falk's back. There's a really good chance that Brad Davis is back, and keep an eye on Mickey Joseph, a little bit of a wild card. I think the biggest hire he has to make is defensive coordinator. That's going to be the biggest hire. We'll see what direction he goes. Can we just outbid Arkansas for Kendall Briles? Yeah, absolutely. I'd take both of Arkansas's coordinators. I'd take Briles and Odom. Bring them both down. Matt, isn't it weird to have these coaches recruiting for us? Yep, I hate it, Bradley, by the way. Hate it. Because it's human nature that those coaches are going to be talking to players and saying, hey, by the way, even if I'm not back, would you want to follow me wherever I'm going? It's human nature. Jackie Lack, what's up? What's Kelly's order of business? Finish his recruiting class? I mean, you're 2 weeks away from signing day. You better get rolling. Alabama fan calling Paul's show worried about Brian Kelly at LSU instead of Georgia. They should be. They don't play Georgia every year. Austin Thomas needs to be procuring NIL deals for his players. That's how you fix it quickly. Get Rick's a six-figure income through 3 to 4 NIL deals. Make sure your big-name guys have deals so there's no jealousy. That's true. That's true. But that's not so much Austin's lane. And Austin does agree. I saw Austin today. Glad he's back, man. Austin Thomas is such a good dude, and he's so good at what he does, y'all. Like, such an asset having him here. Jeremy Weiss, basketball plays defense. Yes, they do. Matt, you anticipating big names on the young up-and-comers of the world as coordinators? I think you ain't big. But listen, look at the coordinators. Look at the coordinators that Brian Kelly had at Notre Dame, right? Sorry. Look at the coordinators he had. He had Mike Elko. He had Bob Diaco. He had Marcus Freeman. Like, Brian Kelly is a good head coach who understands coaching talent and knows what it is he's looking for in assistant coaches. The last guy did no shit. All he would do was call people and say, who should I hire? I called Joe Brady, and he said hire Jake Peets. I called Pete Carroll, and he said hire Bo Pelini. Like, I called Pete Jenkins, and he said hire Jerry Sullivan. Like, dude had no idea. He had no, like, hopefully this is crystallizing more. Now that you actually see what a, like, intelligent, mature, thoughtful, measured head coach looks like, the contrast of Ed Orgeron becomes like, oh shit, that was our guy before? Yeah, that was our guy before. Your shirt looks like Abraham Lincoln went to Grambling. Gamecoin. This is the Gamecoin logo taking over the penny. And by the way, oh, Lincoln, that would have made sense if Lincoln Riley, so cover that up. Gamecoin. TheGamecoin.net, fired up. Platform being built. I am so. Hey, babe. What's going on? What are you doing? Huh? Oh, you're cleaning. E-Rock's here. 1039 watching on YouTube. 588 likes. Smash that like button. Again, another reminder. A couple things real quick. Bourbon side of Baton Rouge raffle. Bourbon raffle. Toys for Tots. All proceeds benefiting Toys for Tots. $10 tickets. The link is pinned both Facebook and YouTube. Hudco Roofing, you need a roof, give us a call. We have materials, we have crews, we're ready to work. You got a blue tarp, you just can't get a roofing company out. We can get to you before Christmas. Guaranteed. Give us a shout. HUDCOroofing.com, HUDCOroofing.com, HUDCOroofing.com. And Gamecoin, thegamecoin.net. Changing the world, the first sports crypto with a purpose, developed right here in Baton Rouge. Platforms being built as we speak. Could not be more fired up. Thegamecoin.net, thegamecoin.net. People ask, how do I buy it? Thegamecoin.net, click how to buy. Boom. Johnny Thorpuscut, won a title, give the guy a little more respect. No, I won't. Because he's Larry Coker. He's Gene Chiswick. He's a dope he's Forrest Gump. This is the best analogy. Forrest Gump was not the best shrimp boat captain in the world. He was the lucky son of a bitch whose boat didn't sink in the storm. And after that, shrimping was easy. That's Ed Orgeron. Ed Orgeron inherited Dave Aranda. He inherited Steve Ensminger. He inherited Corey Raymond. He botched hire after hire after hire after hire. He caught lightning in a bottle with Joe Burrow. And you can say, well, he recruited Joe Burrow. He did. I'll give him credit for closing that. But the only reason that door was open to Joe Burrow was because of Bill Bush. And Bill Bush was on staff because Bill Bush coached with Jimmy Burrow at Nebraska. That is the only reason that door was even open. Otherwise, Joe Burrow would have been at Cincinnati. Yes, Cincinnati. And you could say, well, who hired Bill Bush? Dave Aranda hired Bill Bush. And this is where I've gone into this deep with T-Bob before, and he goes, mental gymnastics. I'm like, bullshit. It's not mental gymnastics. It's actually doing due diligence and taking time to learn the situation instead of just saying, well, they won, so give him credit, or they lost, so don't give him credit. That's a lazy approach. You can actually look at nuance of situation, which is why you end up with a coach who 2 years after a championship is fired because he sucks ass, because he didn't actually know what he was doing to get to that point, is my point all along. Anyway, you want the story? Dave Aranda was taking the Texas A&M defensive coordinator job. His family didn't want to leave. So LSU gave him a raise, and that was the year they got a 10th assistant coach. And Dave liked Corey Raymond, but wanted someone else who he felt knew his defense better. So Dave handpicked Bill Bush. That's why Bill Bush ended up on staff. Bill Bush's connection with Jimmy Burrow, they coached together at Nebraska, is why the door was open for Joe Burrow. I will give Ed credit for recruiting Joe Burrow very hard. Ed is an elite recruiter. I will give credit where it's due. Ed Orgeron is a dynamic recruiter, and I think he's a great defensive line coach. I think those are his two best assets, and if he was that on a staff, it was phenomenal. When Ed Orgeron was LSU's recruiting coordinator, defensive line coach, fucking love the guy. It's amazing. Head coach, no thanks. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. That's why you're paying that guy $17 million to go the fuck away, because that's how big of a dunce he was as a coach. Here's $17 million. Please leave. Give him credit. You're paying him $17 million to go away. That's how bad of a coach he is. Shout out to the Notre Dame reporter for making the trip. What a question. Said, congrats on finding your fairy godmother. Let's see. Can I buy Gamecoin directly on Bitmart? You can either, so there's two ways. You can buy it on Pancake Swap. You have to buy Binance Coin first, then swap it. Or on Bitmart, but to get on Bitmart, you have to buy Tether. So USDT, Tether, swap it for Gamecoin. Go to the website, thegamecoin.net, 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 and it'll tell you exactly how to buy. Where will Peets and Jones land? Don't know about Jones. I know Jake Peets. So Jake Peets was a walk-on at Nebraska. I've heard that Nebraska, Scott Frost has offered both Peets and Mickey Joseph the opportunity. I don't know that they'll go together, though. If Mickey Joseph stays at LSU, I think Peets might take that job at Nebraska. Brady Sen. Hey, Matt, I'm a high school senior in Northeast Louisiana, considering LSU. If you don't mind me asking, what did you major in? How was your experience at LSU? Thank you, Brady. I majored in mass communication. I was a print journalism major, and I absolutely loved it. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. I would highly recommend take a tour. I grew up in Baton Rouge and never actually took a tour of the campus. I went to games my whole life, but there was so much about the campus I didn't even know. That I took the tour and fell in love with it, and every day I was at LSU was reinforced. It was the best decision I made. The J School is actually the oldest accredited journalism school in the country. One of the oldest accredited journalism schools. It might be the oldest accredited journalism school in the country. And I loved it. I loved every minute I was at LSU. It was the best decision for me. Loved it. So that's why I, well, until recently, continued donating money to LSU. I don't give money to athletics because I feel like that's a conflict of interest for me professionally. But I do give money to LSU, to my alma mater, to the university, to the Alumni Association, to the Manship School of Mass Communication. I donate a lot, and let me rephrase that. I donate often. I shouldn't say a lot. It's not like I'm a big booster or anything like that, but I donate often until the Title IX stuff, and I've stopped giving until all the people affiliated with that are gone. Well, actually, now that Joe Leva, King Alexander, and Ed Orgeron are all gone, I can start giving again. There's one more guy, but we'll see. Anyway. Two more guys, actually. What about Dan Lanning for defense coordinator? I'd be down with it. Kibler, I'd be down. Brandon Deggins. Print journalism major, now a golf pro. That's much smarter. I don't know. You get to spend your day playing golf every day. That's not a bad way to make a living. Travis McGraw, Matt, I remember exactly where I was the day they hired and introduced our D-line coach, and you roasted it. You were spot on. But Travis, there's going to be people who argue the contrary and say, well, they won a national championship. But I'll continue to say exactly what I just said, which is there's a reason he was fired 2 years after. Because no one had confidence he knew how to get back there. Because you don't know how he got there to begin with. 2019 was amazing. Yeah, I've said this a million times. I would trade the other 4 years of bullshit with Ed for 2019 because it was that amazing. I'd do it 100 times out of 100. But you're never going to recreate it. He was going to blow the program to oblivion. All right. Might be done. Clayton, Bull, I heard you were one of the 7 donors to the remodel of football ops. I was not. But I do have a brick outside of the Lot Cook where the alumni office is. Whatever that was, $200 or something like that, $250 to get a brick. So if you actually, I don't know where it is, I haven't seen it yet, but if you go outside of Lot Cook and you see the bricks with the names, I have a brick out there somewhere. I don't know. Let's see. Johnny, Matt sounds mad. Won a title, proved him wrong when he said he would never win. No, 2019 was amazing. I just told you I would 100% do that again. I would take the other 4 years of bullshit with Ed for 2019 because it was that amazing. But you had to fire him because he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how he got there and didn't know how to get back. Like, this is an objective fact. It's why he's fired. He hired Matt Canada because he didn't know how to hire an offensive coordinator. Dave Aranda was inherited by Les Miles. I mean, you can say, well, Steve Ensminger. Les Miles hired Steve Ensminger. So, well, he promoted him. Not initially. He hired Matt Canada because he wasn't confident enough to hire anybody. And then he went and hired Steve. I'd put it to you this way. If Steve Ensminger wasn't on staff, would Ed Orgeron have gone and found Steve Ensminger and hired him? No, he would have hired Matt Canada and he'd been fired a year later. Anyway. Let's see. Ryan Clark for DC. Dan O for OC. When will Coach Kelly rip his shirt off for the first time? Thankfully, those days are behind us. Okay. Oh, please don't go before I get a bourbon recommendation. I see the collection you have. I trust your opinion. Okay, LSU Hutch, what recommendation do you want? Like, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Let me know what you're looking for. I'll stay here. Matt, why are you not verified on Twitter? I don't know. Never really thought about it. Ask Iraq, what does she think of the new head coach? I'll get her to come in here. It's weird we have a coach who can speak English. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, it's a bourbon for a Christmas gift for my cousin. How much money do you want to spend, and does your cousin like bourbon? I'm only talking to you now, LSU Hutch. Twitter isn't a cesspool. Twitter's a great place. There are morons on Twitter, but you can filter them out. Fred Rockford, are you going to go see Garth? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. Matt, do you think Kelly can get Elko? Probably not. If you give $100 toys for Tots, you get 15 tickets, boys. Oh, I'm doing that for sure. I might even do more. Why not? It's like Giving Tuesday was this week. What's your favorite drink? Old fashioned. What's on the football behind you? Oh, those are the. I tell you all the time that you really should. That's a 07 BCS championship ball. This one is the Joe Burrow ball. I tell you all the time, bro. Whenever those Nyko Sports things, like this is phenomenal. Like this is the ball that Nyko Sports did that we promoted on the show. It's glossy, so it's got Joe Burrow. Sorry, make sure Facebook can see it too. Sorry, Facebook. So it's got like Joe Burrow and the score of all the games. That's Burrow and Heisman, like his national awards and stuff. That is all of the records he set, and then that's just like the purple panel. This is incredible. I don't know if they have anymore. I think they sold out, but that's the Joe Burrow limited edition ball they did, and that's an 07 ball Nyko Sports did. And some of y'all cockbags go, "Oh, you hate LSU. Fuck you. I hate LSU." I got a framed thing over there with my ticket from every game I went to, and I went to every game in 03. I got more LSU shit than anybody you know. Oh, he hates LSU. Shut the fuck up, loser. No, I hate incompetent people ruining my alma mater is what I hate. Old fashioned with larceny. No, Scott Davis. No. Old fashioned with larceny is not a bad weed. I like weeded bourbon, and larceny is not a bad one that you can find anywhere, right? It's affordable. Old fashioned with Sazerac rye. I'm partial to Sazerac, of course. They're a sponsor, but I love it. It's fantastic. It's 90 proof. It's a great rye. It's drinkable, rocks, neat, or if you want to mix it, it's a very versatile spirit. It's fantastic. Drink your old fashions with rye whiskey. Let's see. Gonna take BR Media a second to get used to having Kelly around. Brandon LeBlanc, excuse me if you touched on this. Is there something there when a coach leaves a massive program that's in contention for the playoff? I get wanting the LSU job, but why now? Honestly, Brandon, because even if they get in the playoff, they're the 4 seed, and they're going to get shithoused by Georgia. That's why. I mean, there's nothing to it. And you won't have another opportunity to take the LSU job if you're Brian Kelly. Look at Brandon. Honestly, I appreciate this. Moved to Connecticut 3 years ago, but this show makes me feel like I'm home. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you for being there. What's up, Googe? Look, see, Googe told you. Sullivan's having a bourbon dinner on Tuesday, December 7th. You know what, Clayton? I'm going to be honest with you. I love... hang on. Sorry. I love Leo Verde, and that's the only reason I went to Sullivan's. Since Leo left Sullivan's, I haven't been back, and I won't go back. Period. No thanks. Stephen Fry, mildest whiskey to drink neat. Mildest to drink neat. Just look for something low proof. Sazerac. Sazerac's 90 proof. Sazerac's fantastic. Drink Sazerac. Pour it. Let it sit for about 10 minutes. Like, aerate it. You swirl it in your glass. Let it open up. And try it. And if you don't like it neat, put it on the rocks. The spirits are meant to be enjoyed. I say all the time, like, I ain't a snob, y'all. Like, I like what I like. But I never like, look down on people for what they drink, how they drink it. Spirits are meant to be enjoyed. Enjoy your Kyle Brisker. Screw the liquor. What was T-Bob smoking besides a cigar Saturday night? He was drinking or he was smoking cigarettes. I don't know if they were cigarillos or just straight cigarettes, but he was yeah, like the little tiny cigars, cigarillos, cigarillos. Eric is here. I need to go. I need to go to bed. I had to bring Drew to school, and then I'm going to New Orleans tomorrow. AFR from the Sazerac house tomorrow. Fired up for that. That'll be fun. One more time before we get out, y'all. I'm gonna bounce. But thank you all so much for watching. Please, please, please talk about it a bunch, but I mention again, Facebook or YouTube. The pinned comment is the link to buy raffle tickets for the Bourbon Society Baton Rouge whiskey raffle. Again, this is not a right to purchase. It's right to own. They draw your name. You don't have to buy it. You just own the bottle. They have 2 Van Winkles in there, the 15 and the 12 year. They got a George T. Stagg. They have 80 bottles. It's amazing. And all the money they raise, even if you don't win a bottle, all of the money that they raise is going to Toys for Tots. So it's Christmas time. Let's do a great thing. $10 per ticket. So even if you can just buy 1 ticket, that'd be awesome. So thank you so much. And of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. If you need a roof, you know someone, friend, family member, has a tarp, whatever, HudcoRoofing.com. Gamecoin, thegamecoin.net, first ever sports crypto with a purpose. More than $2 million already raised for charity. Gamecoin, awesome people, thegamecoin.net, and mycleanliving.net. Erica, come here.
Yeah.
Kyle Milliken said, ask Rock. What do you think of the new head coach?
I like him a lot.
Do you?
He seems very solid. He seems very. Is he short? He seems short.
Okay.
Okay. He seems very professional, very business. Like it's like we're running a Fortune 500 company
Yes.
now, and not like a Mickey Mouse parade.
Did you think Ed Orgeron was a Mickey Mouse parade? Why do you hate Ed Orgeron? Why do you hate people from the Bayou?
I don't.
Are you
I
just
like
mad
people
'cause you're
from
wrong?
the Bayou.
Do you just love Tom Herman?
No, I don't like him.
Why do you suck ass? You suck. You're a hater. That's what you are. Why can't you ever get Ed Orgeron any credit for anything? Now you know what the last 5 years of my life has been like. You say anything negative, they're like, fuck you, you hate him. Blah, 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 blah. He's 5'7", by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a soccer player. Never mind.
No, I think it's gonna be good. It seems serious. It seems real. It seems,
Oh. Yeah.
What?
Like a professional guy.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, right.
Fortune, I said Fortune 500 company.
As opposed to what LSU's had for the last 16 years.
Well, even my mom said like
Yeah.
she enjoyed listening to him speak today.
Ooh,
And she
Clayton
was
Knight said,
happy that Matt was able to ask a question.
Clayton Knight, I thought Erica was a lane train girl.
Oh, I am for sure, but I think this guy is what we need. Yeah, why does everybody think that's good? Because the dad in Carpool today was like, "You're on the lane train." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, is that like vulgar? Like I'm gonna stop saying that." Is
Brian
that bad?
Kelly's not 5'2".
He looks fine. No, he looks short.
What?
But is the lane train like? Is it bad? Is it sexual? Because some like a lot of people keep talking that I say that.
Well, you're saying you want to ride the lane train.
No, like a train is what you ride on.
But they're making it sexual, like you want to ride the
But
lane
I am
train.
not making it. I don't want
Yes,
to
you
ride.
are. So you want to ride the lane train.
I don't want to ride.
And you have to do that motion. You have to go ride the lane train.
I said I'm on the lane train. I said I'm riding it. I said I'm on it. Yeah, I would never say I want to ride.
Iraq baking lemon cookies to drown her sadness.
Sadness for what?
For not getting the lane train.
No, I'm glad not to bake those lemon cookies. I'm sick of baking those. Jesus, I baked those for 10 weeks probably.
They're really good. Everybody loved them. Even like people at Don Juan, like the bartenders, they were
Yeah.
like, they come over to like, "Do I got the lemon
Yeah.
cookies?" It was almost like people like, "You got any lemon cookies? You got any lemon cookies left?"
They're just so sticky. They're messy to make. They're not hard. They're just messy.
Bup, 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 bup.
But all-
Yep. All right. Y'all have a great night. Peace. Oh, by the way, if you're new on the YouTube channel, please subscribe. We're almost 2 hours now. Oh my God. If you're new on the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Smash the like. Love y'all. Have a great night. Peace.